Team2C presents Homebound Games, the best way to keep your loved ones happy at home during the COVID-19 health crisis. Hi there, I'm Hunter Hawley. I'm a junior here at IU Bloomington studying entrepreneurship, and I'm also the founder of Blueprint Stats, a sports technology company that helps high school basketball teams collect and use statistical data. But, with no sports being played anywhere in the world right now, I'm pitching in some of my time to address the health crisis that we find ourselves in whatever way that I think I can help. So the problem that we're trying to solve here is that, as we all know and have heard, health officials and everything talking about for a while now, senior citizens are at an incredibly high risk of experiencing complications if they contract the COVID-19 virus. They have a similar chance of actually contracting it as most people. It's just that leaving their homes, just like everybody else, increases their chances of contracting it. Now, this is particularly tough for senior citizens because most of their social interactions are in person. They're not a generation that grew up with smartphones in their hands or FaceTime, Facebook, things like that. So a lot of their social interactions are going to happen face-to-face. And now, as you can see on that headline, a lot of them are going to start to feel very isolated as they have to stay home and away from other people. So to really bring this to life, I'd like to introduce you to Charles. He's a 78-year-old man, and he lives at home alone. And every Tuesday night, he and his friends love meeting up at the community center to play bingo. So last Monday, one of his friends had picked up his granddaughter from the airport after a cut-short trip to Italy. Last Tuesday, when they all went out to bingo, this friend passed the virus to Charles while they were high-fiving after he got a bingo. Now, each of the friends that went that night, they all say that they knew the risk they were taking, but they still wanted to play anyway. And now the community center and, Tuesday night bingo, of course, are all shut down. And now all of Charles and his friends are incredibly bored, stuck at home. Thankfully, Charles did recover from the virus. Now, Charles' daughter, Jamie, she kind of caught wind of all of this, obviously, and she was very, very disturbed at the fact that they were still going out to play bingo during this crisis. And so she told him that, Dad, you've got to get on Facebook and play games on there. You've got to do whatever you can to stay home and stay entertained there. They even have bingo on Facebook, she told them. But, of course, Charles looked at Jamie and he said, no, that's not really what I want to do. That doesn't sound fun to me. So he doesn't want to get on Facebook. He doesn't think that he's going to be able to learn how to use games on there or on any website for that matter. So this is leaving Jamie in quite a position here because she knows she's got to do whatever it takes to keep her dad at home, but she knows that he's just not going to do things like play online on the computer that she bought him. And even if he did start playing games online, it just wouldn't be the same for him. So to kind of bring to light how big of a problem this is, there are over 35 million Americans over the age of 70 in this country. So additionally, there's 65 million Americans that care for the chronically ill or aged family members. So that's those 65 million Jamies in America, right? Each of these people could really use something to smile about right now and really could use something to keep their elderly loved ones at home. So that's where Homebound Games kind of steps in, right? Jamie could go to our website, look something like this, select the number of bingo cards that she would like to print out for her dad in this case, and just immediately generate a PDF that looks something like this and print them all out. So she could print out 30 of them, take them over to his house, drop them off on the porch, and let him play. All he would have to do is pick up his phone, call the number on the card, give the game operator the card code that is also displayed right there, and he's ready to start playing from home. Now, as you can see at the bottom of the card there, games start strategically every day at different times where Charles or other elderly people might be tempted to go out of their homes, right? So at 5:30 a.m., that's as soon as a lot of them are waking up, right? So you've got to kind of curb the temptation to go out and get your morning coffee somewhere else other than in the house. So this is good to keep them home. 8 a.m., they might be tempted to go out to the grocery. 11, they might be thinking about an early lunch. By 1, there's probably a little bit of midday boredom there. At 3, you're looking at, that's when they're normally out at dinner with their friends. And at 6, that's just a good wind-down activity before bed. So, all the times on here are strategic so that they keep Charles and other people like him at home. Now, whenever Jamie prints off all these bingo cards, an interesting thing is that the system is going to categorize or catalog each of these card codes that are generated, as well as all the bingo numbers that go on the actual card. That's because whenever Charles is playing, before the game I mentioned he has to give that card code to an automated system that kind of reads it and scans them in, if you will. And then it's going to listen for the entirety of the game for him to yell bingo. And when he does, it'll automatically be able to verify based on what's in the database whether or not he actually has one. So if he does have a bingo, he'll be connected with the operator who's a live person running the bingo game. And they'll start to make a little bit of small talk, right? Bingo operator might ask Charles where he's from, or, just different things about what he's doing throughout all of this, just to kind of lighten the mood and let everybody get to know each other a bit. Now, some possible extensions on this. I know that, Charles, one of his primary concerns is that he wants to play games, but he also wants to hang out with his friends. So we could definitely make this into a private group thing where each group has their own phone number, own extension on the phone number to actually call to play. Additionally, another great extension, I think, would be sponsored prizes for winners, right? You could partner with folks like Kroger and start offering anybody who wins bingo free grocery delivery, which is, very important right now. Or CVS Pharmacy could start offering coupons on different things in the store, things like that. Additionally, another great possible extension would be to get into other games. One that I'm particularly excited about the idea of is Battleship, because that's another one you could print cards out and have everybody play at their kitchen table over the phone. But then there's also great things like Trivia Night, that's very easy to run over the phone, or even Blackjack. There's ways to make that work too for some folks who might be more interested in games like that. To make all this happen, we would really just need about 3 things. First, you have to have a domain for the website, and after a quick search today, I see that homeboundgames.com is available for $12 a year, so that's easy enough. Next, I would be able to pull a significant amount of the technical weight myself, just drawing on experience from designing the software that runs my company, Blueprint Stats. But when it comes to setting up automated phone systems with voice recognition, I would need a little bit of help there from a senior software engineer who has a little bit more experience in that field. For a project with a social mission like this, though, there are several folks in my own network and beyond, I'm sure, that I believe would be happy to help out for free or below cost. So that would leave our largest cost on that front just being the servers, and that would totally depend on scale how much that would cost. But for something as simple as this, just this bingo game, my experience tells me that somewhere in the neighborhood of $200 a month sounds pretty reasonable to get this thing up to scale. Now, finally, we're going to need a bingo master to run all of these games, and having a live person call the numbers out and speak to winners after each game as opposed to a computerized voice is crucial because it combines some of the fun of a regular bingo match with something like a call-in radio show. At the end of the day, this whole thing is really just to help make people smile through everything that's going on and really help people stay at home, because this is a very vulnerable population that we're talking about, and it's incredibly important that we do everything we can to make them comfortable and happy staying in place. So, thank you.